Let's talk Tanya for the 17th of Nisan. Yesterday, we ended off our segment saying that mitzvahs need to have yira and ava, both awe and love, behind them in order to infuse the mitzvah with a spiritual content. And the question we asked is, why do we need to have both? Why wouldn't ava alone, love alone, or yira alone, awe alone, why wouldn't that be enough? So in this chapter, which we're starting today, chapter 41, we're going to address that question. Today's Tanya, we're going to start with talking about yira, talking about reverence and awe for God. And the Alter Rebbe is going to first tell us what is demanded of us in terms of yira. And then in tomorrow's Tanya, we're going to talk about why that is the case. Today's Tanya, the Alter Rebbe begins with the words that a person always must remember that reishis ha'avoida ve'ikra v'sharsha. Step number one in serving God, and its very foundation, is yira, is awe of God. We need to have love and awe, but yira, the awe, is step one. We always, whenever we are doing a mitzvah, whenever we are studying Torah, it always must be preceded by a feeling of reverence for God. And that in itself is a paradigm shift, because most of us think, yes, we need to have love for God. We also need to have awe of God, fear of God. Why do we need to have the awe? Why do we need to have why do we need the fear? And the reason is because if I only have love, then I will serve God when I'm in the mood of it, when I'm motivated to do so. When I'm feeling in a loving mood and when I want to do it, then I will do the mitzvah, but otherwise I won't do it. Enter yira, enter the fact that I have awe for God, respect for Him, I revere Him, I fear Him. Even when I'm not in the mood of doing a mitzvah or I'm not in the mood of studying Torah, I will still do it. The Alter Rebbe says, no, that's a mistake. Yira is always necessary, which means, in simple words, imagine there's a certain mitzvah you're very excited about doing it, or you're excited about davening today, and you're about to do it. The Alter Rebbe says, you have to stop, you have to take a pause, and before you do the mitzvah, before you study Torah, you have to try to foster a feeling of yira, of awe in your heart. You have to think. And the Alter Rebbe gives us in today's Tanya an entire meditation. V'hinei Hashem nitzav olav. We have to contemplate the fact that God, who is the God of all the worlds, the higher worlds, the lower worlds, He is present in all the worlds and He transcends all the worlds. And yet, here He is everywhere, and He is watching me. And He wants to make sure that I am doing the mitzvah. He is my king. He wants me to serve Him. And that is a very awe-inspiring feeling. And that is something which is necessary and required every single time that I'm about to do a mitzvah. I need to enter a mitzvah, because that's step number one. I need to enter a mitzvah from a place of yira, from a place of awe for God. V'hinei Hashem nitzav alav. God is opposite me. He stands above me and He's watching me. He stands above me, but also He stands upon me. He's relying upon me. He needs me. He needs my mitzvah. Contemplating that is pretty awesome. I'm about to do a mitzvah. I have to realize the King of Kings, He is right here in the room with me, watching me, hoping I'm doing the mitzvah. He needs for me to do the mitzvah. This is a critical ingredient in every single mitzvah. Why is it a critical ingredient? Why is love not enough? That we will find out in tomorrow's Tanya.